Hi, I'm Jeff. I co-host the show BYR, formerly known as BYBS. Apparently, we are e-fame hungry whores. That's why we host shows on things like biological Leninism and World War II geopolitics. That isn't really the point. Today I'm going to tell you a story. It has many ups and downs, stupid spurgy ops run by idiots, and enough twists and turns to truly qualify as a telenovela soap opera. I saw some streams a few months back, online debates about politics with some funny shit-flinging in between. You might know them as Internet Bloodsports or IBS. When I saw that the 4chan poll threads following these streams would host their own little debate show, I said, gee, that sounds like a lot of fun. Shit talking about politics and shit posting with fellow Anons. Little did I know, I would be dragged into a shitstorm that reeked of a particular infamous kerfuffle a few years back, Gamergate. Let's go down a checklist to confirm this observation. E-whores cashing in on the jokes and copyrights of other people because of a temporary popularity spike. Check. People playing the victim for something they themselves did.
Why did you have to out her as a chili waitress, man?
She outed herself as a Chili's waitress. She said she was a Chili's waitress.
If your standard for doxing is us 8chan links, then you've doxed people too.
No, my standard for doxing is doxing.
Check. Calling others guilty because of who they associate with and not their actions.
You know, King of Bull, he'll come on and he will accuse me of being a doxer and being associated with this guy named Zoom because I did streams with him before some videos came out that were very questionable. Well, King of Bull was the one who introduced me to Zoom, so the association thing is right there. And the guys who were out there saying, oh, Joachim is a pedophile defender or, you know, interacts with pedophiles because this guy who I don't even know what the truth is about it. I'm not honestly convinced, but whatever. But there are screenshots from tonight of them trying to get the guy on a fucking stream, right? So they're hanging out with him still. Yeah, including him. They're out there talking to him right now, trying to get him. But, you know, I'm the one associating with him, right? That's what King of Bull will say.
They'll say, oh, doxing is wrong. I don't agree with doxing. But then they'll say, you're dumb for pointing it out and for pointing out that they're dealing with those people, that they're hanging around those people. Crown Tea became radioactive. Why are these people not radioactive? I think they are to a certain extent. But then there are people who are determined to stand up for them. And when you do that, that makes you much more liable than if you were just associated with them when they were doing it and then disconnected yourself.
Check. Woman being given the time of day for no good reason.
Somewhere else than just being a circle jerk for you guys. And so she presents a view that is feminine of the far right. You can see on that picture that she masters camera lighting. Both of them master camera lighting.
No, I really want to know. Like, I want to know
what
what I did to her. Like, that's my. Literally left like, what the fuck?
What did Aaron do to you?
For real, like on God, I'm like intrigued. It was weird.
Check. Jim, in a leadership role he doesn't even want.
Bloodsports is just the dumb, gay little nickname that it's been given. But it's a stream where people come on with a heated confrontation. That's really what it boils down to. You can think of something like almost like a Jerry Springer, a Maury Povich, or Richard Bay kind of type atmosphere.
Check. Massive banning lists and censorship of people who make fun of you. Check. But this is simply a broader picture of current-day IBS. What this video is really about is Joachim Hawk, his silly behavior, doxing ops, general idiocy, and his involvement with the Kumite. On February 20th, I first joined ANCAP's stream. We have a discussion about democracy and its merits and failings. I argue for a qualified democracy while Joachim argues for an authoritarian fascist government. I expect the streams to continue like this, but Joachim the TR Sodomite has deeper ambitions. Streams continue on with an entirely political bend, debating commies, talking about Jordan Peterson, and various other topics. After all, the stream started on 4chan poll. Unexpectedly, we have Tonka on only a handful of streams in. Joachim is interviewing the liberalist hardcore and his ethereal politics. Tonka pursues him because he is angry for hardcore being on a show earlier. The show is likely brought to Tonka's attention either by Joachim's pay-pigging or Toad McKinley. A few streams after this, Jim and Tonka come on. Besides a little chit-chat, the stream becomes an entertaining takedown of hardcore. Here we learn that dinosaurs are a slur word for blacks, and that liberalistism is really a cult of nothing. After this stream, Joachim and ANCAP favor guests and topics done by the Kumite and other mainstream blood sports, over the more esoteric debates that started the streams. We continue streaming for days on a variety of topics, but when we have a nihilist on in the form of Joel, and I back him up to make Joachim angry for entertainment value, Joachim becomes emotionally unstable and threatens to leave the show because he can't believe I would make such an argument or argue a point for exploring it in the halls of debate style.
Never mind. What I'm saying is that you don't have a viable way of attack to actually change the structures of power in society.
Well, that's
like,
just not true. That's what I'm so sick of arguing, because you keep
without
saying
advocating
that,
for
and
violence.
it keeps being equally retarded. And every time I point out to you how stupid it is, you just keep repeating it like the fucking kike that you are. Every day I argued with them, and I didn't know what to be more, more impressed by: the evasiveness of their lies or the skill, the artfulness of lying of their tongues. Soon I began to hate them. That's what's happening here. This isn't the nihilism. This is the soon I began to hate them bit, because we've had this conversation over and over and over again, and every time
and your points are so weak. Your understanding of the landscape is so weak.
Because we give you arguments, you give black pills. We give arguments. We say this is why your thing doesn't work.
You're just calling my arguments black pills because you have no fucking.
I just pointed out how your argument.
Your rebuttal or social proof. Your rebuttal is participation.
Doesn't work by pointing out historical examples where you were wrong. And then you just went on back and act like you never heard them. You act like you never fucking heard them. Because of course you couldn't address an argument. You just got to keep putting out that rhetoric there.
These historical examples
are the chance because you're a fucking nihilist.
All of them have fucking backing of factions of the elite. All of them.
Jeff, there's
not the French Revolution was co-opted by the elite by the end. There's always the decentralized power comes in and takes that shit. Oh, every time. There's no fucking time where the decentralized power, the people grassroots movement actually stays grassroots. It always fucking becomes decentralized. And if you think your little grassroots shit's gonna, come through, you're just fucking delusional. It looks like Joachim dropped.
Despite claiming to host a stream in the internet blood sports genre, Joachim cannot handle a host of a competing opinion. He wants the host and participants of the show to be a hug box, like the TRS, where he formed his entire identity. This hug box mentality will fester and grow until Joachim is fully embroiled in groupthink and delusion. Emotionally upset over that stream, Joachim acts like a big baby behind the scenes. He repeatedly tries to use the argument that he does all the work for the show and everyone watches it for him, even though he is disguising bookings done by Toad McKinley as his own. Tonka, Joel, Scrub, and King of Pull, to name a few. Also on this day, Anal Vape's Discord has a stream on the played-up Emmy docs where Diogenes tells her that Facebook is connected to Discord. The next day we start arguing about the format of the show, and Joachim's womanly threats of leaving because he's not having fun.
Yeah, I don't hate you, Joachim. I'd love to continue conversing with you, but you're going to have to build a thicker skin, and you're going to have to learn how to actually
for the ad hom attacks.
How is that an ad hom attack? You need a thicker skin if you want to be in this sort of thing.
I just don't like you. I don't have to do this, and that's the thing. As
I
said, I stopped having fun, so that's why I'm going to stop doing this. I'm pretty sure. I did this to have fun. If I'm not enjoying what we're doing here, and I'm not enjoying it because you suck, then yeah, I'm going to go do other things. I'm going to be on other channels. I'm going to do my own. And if you want to fucking take me on the Kumite someday, I don't. That's cool, but. As much as I like what ANCAP's doing, yeah, I don't think I'll be coming back after this. I don't really like you. And I don't want to be part of anything that you're part of.
Understandable.
When I'm on the verge of forcing a change in the show's format, or a compromise, Tonka mysteriously appears, in all likelihood to back up his boy, the pay pig. I get dogpiled for calling people cucks who engage in a degenerate society, and I don't have the strongest arguments at this time. Joachim now feels confident in sole control of the show, with Toad helping him book guests. He repeatedly calls into question my contribution, and tries to gaslight ANCAP to reduce my influence on the show. We continue drifting towards more and more gossip and e-drama, something that I did not want any part of. Through King of Pull, who we had earlier on the show, we host a giant shitstorm of e-drama. We have Zoom, an epic hacker, fighting Britbong, a goofy retard who made Second Life videos. Zoom goes on and on about how he swatted and fucked with this furry spulb because he dated an underage girl, and how he doxed Britbong. During the stream, watchers in Anal Vape's Discord are making jokes about doxing. Geekfulu joins the voice chat, and Daru says an offhand comment, "I'm checking the docs." Geekfulu responds to this and asks, "Are you guys doxing people?" Aqua replies jokingly in chat, "It's too late. We already doxed you and Tonka." Geekfulu is extremely paranoid on this day, because an internet troll named Quaffin made a hit list using old doxes of people on the Kumite and in BYBS to try and troll them and fuck with their head. Geekfulu believes the first person he hears who says they doxed him, and starts saying that Joachim is running a doxing Discord, and that BYBS are a bunch of doxers on a doxer Discord. In response to Geeksburging, people post a picture from one of his public Twitters of his bald head. Joachim then begins making goofy posts on Twitter about disavowing the Discord and saying they don't represent BYBS. He then comes into the Discord and bans the people who made the jokes about doxing. People call him out for admin abusing because they were simply jokes. And Joachim goes on a diatribe about optics cucking and how people are going to believe we're all doxers. Joachim fights Geekfulu on Failure's stream. It eventually leads to Geekfulu being ousted from the Kumite inner circle. We host our debate on Scrub's channel because Britbong played pornography in our stream, getting it a strike. Tonka, who is in the Britbong stream, knows Zoom is a doxer with no boundaries, but has no problem having him wingman Joachim on Scrub's stream. Funnily enough, also on this day, Tonka levies up a bounty for information on Zeph, who they suspect put their information on Cow with no basis because Zeph made fun of Failure's fat ass in the past. Pertaining to Zeph, after pouring through tons of evidence, I could not find any proof that he was the one who released the information of Tonka or Vamp. All I could find was a video he made making fun of Failure's fat ass.
A 10 instead of underwear? That has got to be the biggest ass I've ever seen in my whole life. Get the fuck out of here. Super duper mega trooper 20 tons of fat ass bitch. Don't want super duper.
And him trolling Vamp Candy and Tonka on Twitter. After the original drama with Liz, Zeph left the internet for months. Whatever this guy did, he lives so rent-free in the Kumite's head, they play clips of him for 5 months, make hate merchandise, and think he is the one doxing them in March. They've even been trying to find his dox since January, soliciting his information from some person named Tranime Girl. Back to March 31st, Joachim forms his own Nuthugger Discord, which is strictly moderated and does not tolerate anyone to shit-talk or troll Joachim, who is the host of a show about shit-talking people, by the way. Also, Tui gives Ev a tip about her security on this day. Laheim also asked specifically for Zeph's dox from Zoom, right after meeting him a day after Tonka puts out the bounty. Tonka is likely working with Joachim to collect Zeph's dox, and Joachim is relaying news of Zoom's hacker skills to Tonka. Trolls like Greatest Goyim are now interested in fucking with Joachim, who gets emotional over his e-rep, and made rules for people not to troll him. They nuke his Nuthugger Discord, delete all the precious praise to Joachim's ego. This enrages him into a spurg fit, worthy of a man who pretends to be a manager at Chili's. Joachim abuses admin again on Vape Discord, and gets his admin taken away, making him even angrier. Joachim talks privately about his misgivings about ANCAP with Zoom, but still wants to take ANCAP's money and subscribers. April 4th, Joachim actively doxes Anal Vape, as well as tries to find info on other trolls like Aqua and Brozif, asking Zoom to help him. Later that day, Joachim posts a meme with Anal Vape's real face on his Twitter to threaten and humiliate Anal Vape. Surely, Joachim would be crying had he received the same treatment. Ev also asks Zoom to dox Tui, because Tui now thinks Joachim is hypocritical scum about doxing, and wishes he exposed Ev, who is a Joachim dick rider. Ev takes this as a threat and joins in on the doxing ops. Although Joachim has already been calling Aqua and Tui bad actors for trolling since the 29th, he goes into overdrive after the 4th. He claims they threaten and make women feel scared by sending them messages with knife and blood emojis. Basically the most stupid white knight garbage anyone can muster or anyone has ever heard.
I mean, I'm saying that if they really want to try to dox this poor girl,
I don't know why he wants
that's not going to end well for them. That's all I'm saying. They keep saying they want to dox people. They probably should not be pursuing that avenue. That's all I'm saying. Not a smart thing to do.
Spam. Can everybody spam knife emojis and fucking blood emojis in the chat? Do this.
You realize? Hang on, Stormy. I want to clear that up.
Borderline
you
autism.
realize the context of that was actual threats. Like there were emojis in there. There were
doubt
also
that,
legitimate
dude.
death threats against that poor girl.
I fucking doubt it, dude. And dude,
I have the fucking pictures. Like, what do you want from me? I've seen the.
They're
pictures.
autists on the
Yes, well, if you go make death threats against people, maybe people respond. Maybe that's not a nice thing to do. I don't know what to say. Oh, but it's not a death threat because there was an emoji. Okay, whatever. It didn't mean that they didn't threaten that poor girl's life over and over and over again.
April 6th. Joachim talks about infighting between Anal Vape and the anime avatars who believe he has cucked too much and say their group is broken up. He takes a break that weekend while me and ANCAP run the stream. As you can see from this DM, he takes his internet ops very seriously. He is a professional operation runner. Yeah, we broke that group up. Now it's mop-up op. That cow thread is nothing. Expose the bad actors and then remove. I've got that saved. And thank you for that. Do you have Tui/Lol? Seems that one is at the heart of this. Joachim, Gigglemesh, Anal Vape, Zoom, and myself go onto a stream on Joachim's now defunct channel. Gigglemesh and Anal Vape ream Joachim about releasing Anal's face and spreading his name around. Joachim backpedals and pill-pulls, claiming it was just a joking ethical dox. Zoom comes on and Anal Vape supports his story that Anal asked Zoom to be doxed for OPSEC. I believe Vape and Zoom's tale and let up on Joachim messing with him because how would Anal be so retarded to lie about this on stream?
I literally gave him everything I could find within a 5-minute period upon his request. I never personally posted.
Okay, then I didn't understand that. I didn't think that. I was clearly, I thought because of how Gilgamesh was acting and how what Anal was saying.
I have the screenshots. I can post them in the side chat.
Well, Joachim and Zoom conspire to email Baked Alaska about hacking and doxing his enemies as they hear he needs a hacker. They fake an email from Weave, which is relayed to Baked's manager. This lets Zoom become the hacker in question. Baked's staff ask Zoom to dox Andy. This leads to the Baked implosion that is jumped on by Ralph, Jim, the Kumite, and Laheim. Cue 48 hours of every IBS streamer trying to milk viewers out of Bake's dying carcass. Another interesting tidbit, we were supposed to host a debate between me and ANCAP versus a communist Jew that Halsey had arranged a week prior. Joachim tells the person he wishes was his real dad, Mike Enoch, that we are doing this debate. Enoch says Joachim shouldn't platform Zionist Jews, and so he pulls out and runs off with our viewership to do Baked drama. ANCAP cancels the debate, pissed off. Back to April 14th, I wash my hands of this, not being interested in Cucked Alaska imploding. IBS gets record numbers, including Joachim's stream, where he talks to the manager of Baked. Early that morning, I'm releasing my Bible reading video. While it's rendering, I talk to the community Discord VC, and offhand mention that Joachim and Zoom have Tui and Aqua's docs. Aqua's docs was already mentioned publicly on a stream chat, but Tui did not know they were seeking his information. This prompts the Discord group to step up their operations of looking for dirt on the new pair of Joachim and Zoom. Before anyone says I've doxed Aqua with the screenshot, the information Zoom fed Joachim here is false. Aqua's name is not Sam, and he does not live in the United States. April 16th, after record numbers exceeding BYBS thanks to the Baked E-drama bump, Joachim gains confidence to spin off his own show and begins discussing this with Zoom and Scrub. He starts distancing himself from BYBS. He doesn't tell any of us up front that he plans to make a new show. He wants to retain the option to crawl back to ANCAP in case something goes wrong. This is after not even a month earlier, where he was making womanly cries in protest when I wanted to change the creative vision of the show. And even before that, he was trying to up-jump ANCAP and move on to Toad McKinley's channel to do streams. Of course, not telling either me or ANCAP any of this. A group of people who knew Zoom from back in the day on a platform called Blab found Zoom gaining popularity again in these IBS streams. They proceeded to gather and spread information about him, including 3 recordings implicating him heavily in making his girlfriend watch child pornography. This was all organized by King of Pole, Joachim, and a person named Wormy, among other people from the old Blab platform. Realizing that he might not end up in the best spot after this, Joachim publicly defends the Zoom and tells him to go onto the Ralph Retort stream. The conversation is too shocking, and the dog pile leads to people not believing that it could possibly be a troll because of the appeals to emotion. Zoom loses face. What's worse is Joachim went light on Zoom, despite going very hard on Nick the Pedo weeks earlier. This makes him look like a giant hypocrite, and further tarnishes his reputation. By the morning of the next day, Zoom has already leaked all of his DMs of Joachim. who he felt didn't defend him and jumped to the side of his daddy Tonka, who wanted to fight Zoom IRL for his pedo shit. Joachim, not knowing he is already fucked, makes a goofy stream trying to apologize and chill for Zoom, so he doesn't get fucked for his shady garbage that they did in private. After compiling the DMs from Zoom, the final battle stream starts. Revealed to all are Joachim being a doxer, a backstabbing scumfuck, and doxing people for knife and blood emojis in chat. Joachim is led on the stream to defend himself, and cries that he didn't do nothing. He later admits in the stream after pressure that he did dox all these people, and simply was taken by a bout of temporary insanity, which made him do this fucked up thing. Not his lack of moral character. What a joke.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna say a few things on record, but
Sure.
this is the last time I'm gonna be on a stream or associated with this community anyway. I already deleted my Discord. I'm moving on with my life. Here's the thing. I have never doxed anybody. I have never released anybody's docs. I have never shared anybody's docs with anybody else. Those are all true. There was a point where somebody that I give a shit about was being threatened with all sorts of awful things, where in an unreasonable moment, I said some things I shouldn't have said. I watched somebody get doxed, but their docs were not put out. Their docs were not shared.
So I think anybody watching this video knows how this statement ends up. But in case you're watching it blind, I'll leave it as a surprise for later. That said, I have never seen any proof of Ev getting threatened by anything besides knife emojis. Later, in the same fucking video, Joachim admits that this statement is a fucking lie anyways.
He got those from before. Because when I came to that, because it wasn't me that came to him about the
You
situation.
didn't actually have that information.
Can I clear this up?
This one turns out to be a lie on simple fucking examination. In the DMs, he's actively finding and leading the hunt on Anal Vape's information and making fun of him while he does it. Not to mention earlier in the video where we find him, he asks for Zeph's information immediately for Zoom. Zoom didn't fucking come for him for that shit.
When?
Where's the fucking...
Okay,
where's
but
the
here's the
screenshot?
thing. In the fucking state of mind that I was in.
I need to clear something.
Hang on, can I respond? Am I allowed to respond? Or is this just going to be another lynch mob?
Go ahead.
No. Everyone was being threatened with being doxxed. Everyone went to Zoom. Zoom had already doxed Aqua and Brosif before I did anything. I didn't need to ask him to dox you, Anal. He was already in the process of doing it.
Okay, my question now.
Well, we know this one is a lie from the last fucking screenshot. It was Joachim who was actively doxing Anal Vape. Zoom was just fucking laughing at Anal Vape's face. Slimy fuck's trying to use the temporary insanity excuse for his disgusting behavior.
Course of
I
action
was
there.
raped as a kid, okay?
Okay, Joachim.
Pedophiles.
Joachim, that was a wrong answer.
Oh, I'm gonna move on from the internet and really not give a fuck about this in 2 weeks, dude. Oh, so I don't live in the state of Michigan and manage a Chili's?
Whoa! I don't know.
You do? You really do that?
Yes, I really fucking do. And you came onto a stream.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, dude!
Joachim here is trying to use every lie in the book to try and deflect his way into a graceful exit. And honestly, considering how easy we went on him, he got away with it. He got away with fucking lying to our face. But we thought he was at least not lying on leaving the fucking internet. So what happened? What motivated him? Why is he fucking insane? You posted his brother's name in the private chat with Zoom. You were reveling in the fact you were finding this guy's information.
I found that enjoying. I was fucking furious, man. I was because I thought that Anal was behind organizing doxing attempts on somebody that I gave a shit about.
Joachim is a big, egotistical retard. I don't think anybody would dispute that. But what led him to such insane actions is the combination of this egotistical retardation and groupthink. Groupthink occurs when people surround themselves with people who are like-minded. If the degree of separation between their beliefs is too thin, then they will engage in self-destructive behavior. Outside groups whose activities are mostly benign, they will attribute with the most malice. Inside groups, they will sympathize with and attribute everything as being some sort of mistake or misunderstanding that is bad. When Joachim formed his own insular Discord and stopped trying to interact with his community, he sealed his fate of going down an insane path of retardation. In every trolly shitpost making fun of his asshole behavior, he would find an evil doxer behind it. Feeling nothing but pity, we let him go after lying and crying. The people he doxed admonish us for letting him go easy, and we agree in retrospect, but I don't think he would have changed his behavior no matter how hard we went on this lying fucking snake. You would think after we kick off Joachim the Doxer and we move on with our lives, BYBS, the Kumite, and other shows would exist in peace, but you'd be wrong. Not hours after we oust Joachim from the show, Tonka is on Twitter denouncing all of BYBS as a bunch of doxers and a doxing show. Using months-old drama with Diogenes and Emmy, he tries to pin us all as doxers and slander our name. But Tonka here is completely and utterly full of shit. He doesn't give a fuck about doxing. He was on multiple shows of Zoom. He was promoting Joachim's show knowing Zoom was going to be the co-host. He revealed more personal information of Emmy, the girl he claims Diogenes doxed, on his own show than Diogenes ever did.
Why did you have to out her as a chili waitress, man?
She outed herself as a Chili's waitress. She said she was a Chili's waitress.
Not to mention him trying to get Zeph Dox in March and January. Tonka is completely and utterly full of shit. When Tonka kvetches publicly about doxing, it isn't moral, it is purely because he's embarrassed about his own life. Why is Tonka obsessing over a stream that only breaks 100 viewers on a good day? Maybe it's your boy Vamp Candy. Vamp Candy was close to Joachim, hung out in his Discord server, and watched the final battle episode, and we later get confirmation that it was Vamp Candy who informed Tonka about this controversy about Emmy.
There's him talking about it in March 18th, in the second screenshot that you've got, Failure.
March 18th? Oh dear. Failure.
Yeah, that's the one that we showed on Tuesday.
Vamp? Are those the ones from Vamp?
Now here's the deepest conspiracy of all. Emmy, a dumb bitch normie who'd never used the internet or Discord much at all, goes into the Discord of a toxic 4chan-based stream and was apparently set there by the Kumite as some sort of fucking spy, which would certainly explain her persistence when people were shit-talking her for days. Apparently Tonka is not angry about the docs, he's angry his spy is not working the angle he told her to. It is now clear that the Kumite, as well as Joachim's people, are engaged in a giant groupthink fuckfest, in being retardedly insular and paranoid about outside groups, running gay ops and talking shit for weeks. They've made their nightmares a reality. They've actually poked people enough through their fucking delusions to actually justify them and attacking them. Now, if you were Joachim, after being run off the internet for holding docs of a few people, would you A, leave the internet for a while and come back eventually under a different name and don't be an e-celeb? B, come back shortly to the internet but apologize publicly to the people that you doxed and go on with your life doing your own stream? Or C, take a picture of your balls, write King of Poles initials on them, and then start talking shit about the swatter that you worked with and all the people that you doxed. I think you know the answer to what happens.
And if I did ask, if I don't remember honestly, but if I did ask Zoom to dox them, I don't really regret that. They fucking deserved what they got. But their dox was never released, and it certainly wasn't released by me. By the way, can I come play D&D with you? That sounds fun.
I would want to have it for D&D, but the thing is, like the one that I'm having with Sarga right now is constantly being delayed, and there's also no available room in the party. But if I'm organizing something else and I'm trying to get something sorted, I will ask it to.
Yeah, I would love to play D&D with you.
Finally fed up with the paranoid retard talking shit to them for months, Tui doxes Joachim and tells him he knows his initials in a Twitter DM. Tui, having enough of Joachim's bullshit, wants him to leave the internet. When he refuses, his dox is released onto a certain image board that has been getting way too much exposure lately. Now, if you were Joachim in this situation, would you A, leave the internet in hopes people would forget about you and not fuck with you once your dox was released? Or B, continue shit-talking the very people you fucked with so they will actually fuck with you? I think you know the answer to this one.
You know, and yeah, I mean, fuck, I wouldn't even be back if it weren't for all the people trying to cause all this trouble. You know, I really did not want to keep going, but you know, that's the thing is they doxed this poor fucking random ass kid's family, and it's like I at least need to go out in public and address what the fuck is going on with that.
This is perhaps the most retarded response I can even conceive of to this action. So not only do you come back and start talking shit to the people who doxed you, but you say that the person they doxed is wrong and it's a fake, which is basically begging them to try and prove it with some fucking nasty method. Either Joachim is clinically fucking retarded, or he cares about e-fame so much that he's willing to put his family at risk after betraying an evil swatter. After 3 months of consistent lying, Laheim finally slips up.
I don't know. You certainly had a stream where my dox was being thrown around like fucking candy in your chat, and nobody seemed to really care about it.
Joachim starts complaining about a single line of text in a 3-hour stream in chat that wasn't moderated fast enough. In his hubris, he reveals his charade about that poor kid, as he would say. Joachim starts his heel turn Invictus stream with his Kool-Aid Club, Underwater Alex Jones, Queen of Dance, Big Cat Kayla, and Slick Dragon. Funny enough, Joachim was going to throw all these people away, moving to a new show of Zoom, because he saw greener, bigger pastures. Thomas Ellington makes some retarded video saying that the people Joachim doxed and are fucking with him and Tonka because of their relationship are actually ran by King of Pole, who is running all their ops, and it's some sort of secret cabal because King of Pole was embarrassed publicly by Jim. He's basically just believing the stupid shit Joachim tells him because he's a fucking idiot. Joachim goes on the Kumite and starts calling the people he doxed anime terrorists, to much humorous effect.
And also where they, along with their friends, are working very hard to dox Mr. Medicare, who's never done anything to anybody out here, and whose loss would be huge for the entire community. I mean, Jim's like the last good thing on the internet, and these people want to destroy him just because in their worldview, he's an e-celebrity. So yeah, so I went out and I pursued a research on people, not for the sake of making it public, but because I thought that it was a defensive situation, that there were people going after me and going after people who really had no option to defend themselves. There were women that were very seriously scared and threatened. And, you know, the response is, oh, well, we weren't really threatening them, you know.
Now he's trying to post hoc rationalize doxing audience members because of Jim and protecting him somehow? That's hilarious. He, of course, lies about how he didn't do nothing and tries to justify his paranoid delusions that led him to attempting to dox 4 audience members of his show. Tonka pretends to quit the internet for attention for 20 minutes and then comes back and then starts telling girls to kill themselves on air and doxes their workplace after trying to use them as some sort of ops pawn to discredit BYBS because he can't handle a 100-viewer stream existing next to him. We drag Ellington on to Podcast Asleep 2 to debunk his stupid videos, and he makes a fool of himself saying all of the people Joachim doxed are trying to dox Jim because he still believes the stupid shit Joachim told him. May 14th, the Kumite's complete shit show. Joachim gets swatted by the man he originally ran ops with a few weeks prior, and things in blood sports are not well.
Wait. The only thing that is fucking redder than your fucking sub counts is your fucking call or something.
That's a good one, actually.
The Goblino groupthink gossip gang has seduced Andy, and red are his sub counts, plummeting are his super chats. Poor Andy to be seduced by the groupthink Goblinos and their super transparent operations.
Andy and saying, Master Andy, I will suck your dick if you fire Jeff. I would like us two to be together, Andy. Jeff is not a good influence for you. Please do something about it. Let me not incite you to fire him directly, but let me insinuate that maybe your relationship is not based around the right stuff. Maybe JF is too emotional.
In closing, it's obvious people like Joachim and the Kumite run all these gay ops, do all this doxing shit, hire hackers, do all this fucking gay shit, and they don't really give a fuck about being anonymous on the internet. They care about their identity remaining private because it exposes their LARPing, their self-aggrandizing and inflation of their accomplishments to gather internet points and fame. This is what drives their paranoia, to find doxers around every corner, enemies in every hole, and to find all trolls to be evil and to ban them off their channel. Ultimately, their greatest weakness is their own minds. The same groupthink that caused the Bay of Pigs and sunk the Nixon administration is the same thing that will sink these internet LARPers. Becoming too insular, they will see a conspiracy behind everyone and ultimately embarrass themselves beyond belief.